Welcome to Classic Value Investors. My name is Mariusz Konieczny. Today, this is another video series in the How Did the Stupidity Work Out? Today I'm talking about GameStop. First of all, I'm not a gamer, okay? But I do have 3 games for my Xbox, and I bought all of them at GameStop, okay? NCAA Basketball 10, I bought South Africa soccer, and then I bought Monopoly Streets. So sometimes my girlfriend and I play the Monopoly. I used to play a little bit of the soccer game and a little bit of this, but I barely ever play games, ever. I know some people enjoy it. It never really caught on with me. But here's a little bit of experience that I had with GameStop, and maybe this is a little bit of a different video from what you're seeing right now, because GameStop is in the news and everybody's talking about it, about the short squeeze that happened. And now I remember like 2011, 2012, my value investing friends were just talking to me about how they're buying GameStop. And at that point, as a non-gamer, it really never made sense to me, because I'm thinking to myself, and this is not even without studying the company, I'm thinking to myself, okay, yes, they're looking at the financials, they're looking at the free cash flow or the net income that the company generates, and they're projecting how many other stores they're going to open, and because it was trading at maybe 10 times net income or 10 times free cash flow, that it was a good idea. And like in the short term, it worked out for them, because the stock actually did go up from these levels. But for me, it never really made sense, because I thought to myself, okay, I'm not really, when I'm buying software, right? Most of the time I download it. So I thought to myself, well, at some point in the future, the gaming industry will figure out a way of how people can download the games, and there's going to be no need for GameStop. So I always thought to myself, and it kept me away from GameStop. When you look at it over a long period of time, in the long term, since that time that everybody was hot in the value investing community, or at least the people that I talked to, the stock was definitely a loser, because most recently everybody jumped on the same bandwagon saying that GameStop doesn't have any future. And I just find it interesting that back then in 2010, 11 or 12, I felt like most people were on the same side of the argument, saying that, oh, even though that there might be some downloads, they were trying to rationalize it, that it's overblown, that the download speed is not fast enough, and that it's okay to buy GameStop. So they kind of piled in at the same time, thinking the same way, and it didn't turn out to be that great, thinking the same way as everybody else was thinking. And then now fast forward to 2020, when the actual financial results are starting to show some weakness. Now everybody else is piling into the short trade, saying that GameStop doesn't have any future and it's the next blockbuster. And that didn't work out either, because everybody was on the same side, and the actual shares that were short were like more than the shares outstanding. So now, if you look at it from the last few weeks, the stock went up like 4 or 5x just because of the short squeeze. And if you look at it from the COVID sell-off in April of 2020, the stock is up like 20x, even though they're probably going to be right, the shorts, they're probably going to be right in the long term, that the future for GameStop probably doesn't look too bright, considering the technology and all the downloads. But even though even though they might be right in the long term, because they were all betting on the same side. In the short term, they're taking a lot of unnecessary pain because they chose to think the same way as everybody else thought. Everybody wanted to be long in 2011, 12, 13. This didn't turn out to be too good in the long term. Now everybody wanted to be short at the same time. That didn't turn out to be too brilliant in the short term. And GameStop short underperformance kind of reminds me of the time when everybody wanted to be short Tesla at the same time. So that's it for this video. I thought that the GameStop situation is kind of funny in a way. So that's it. Thanks for watching and have a good day.